Hey all, thanks for joining me. So I thought I'd just give a bit of a quick update on some of the progress I've been making on Grand Saga Futura. It's been a mammoth task, and it's kind of great to just stop and reflect on some of the things that have been happening. Um, so, for those who don't know, Grand Saga Futura is about gamifying saber combat in such a way that we have full campaigns, point scoring. You can think of it like if anybody has ever done saber combat, you'd be familiar with kind of keeping track of your opponent's scores and maybe building a bit of a team ladder for your club over time. Well, this is taking it to the extreme, to put it lightly. So I'll just reload this so you can see. So you can see the Grand Saga logo has finally come together. I am going through a bit of a kind of a two heads at the moment about the art direction that I want to take, but so you'll see a bit of a blend of different styles here. But what you can see in front of you is the campaign select screen. So there's only one chapter at the moment, but I do intend to make this a 5-chapter saga. And what we do is we click on the first one, enter battle, and you're immediately presented with the battle map. So what the battle map looks like is, again, quite intense. If anybody's played like games like Fallout or Elder Scrolls, then it'll seem pretty familiar. We have outposts, and the idea is that this is a team sport. So you'll join a group of 3 fighters, and you'll fight a group of 3 fighters. As an example, I'm going to initialize a campaign here. So this here is the map control system. So I'm going to start a new campaign. Might just mute the music for now. It's quite eerie, but so just mute that. So what you can see now is the screen's been populated. So this is all the different houses that currently are in the game for this saga anyway. We have the Revolution, the Stellar Alliance, the AORI, and the Emperor's Hand, as well as the Mori clan. So when you hover over any of these outposts, you'll see that there's actually, so I'll just zoom in, you'll see that there is actually quite a bit of information on who controls it, what environmental effects are currently present, and it's really quite a bit of information there. So we'll just click over to environment. You can see some of these are radiated. Some have perks, so if you can control an outpost, you will get some perks for your team, which will make it much harder for others to try and take that outpost away from you. We have districts, so you can see how the outposts are connected within districts. So if I go to something like, actually I'll zoom into here as well. You'll see it shows you a bit of a breakdown on which factions have control, which ones don't. So at the moment, Stellar Alliance controls 2 outposts in this district, whereas Emperor's Hand, Mori Clan, and Revolution only control 1. We can see, again, the environment there. We can see tactical, so some actually have higher value than others. We can see in all the more important, the Saga panel, which is an all-new panel I've created. So the idea is that depending on which house you are, you'll have specific objectives. When you launch the campaign, some objectives may already be complete, just a bit of a roll of the dice. Some characters might be unlocked already. You can see your current control of territory, and this is a really cool feature I developed recently. It's called the Rivals feature, where as you start to take more outposts from a specific faction, it'll calculate and figure out that you're actually very hostile towards them. So that's very dynamic. Again, so for the Emperor, you can see some kind of objectives there you'll have to control. The Revolution, the Stellar Alliance, the Mori clan. So if I now kind of bring the music back up and show you a bit of what combat looks like. So imagine this is a team sport. You're actually physically competing with one another. You can see here that Stellar Alliance already controlled this location. So I'm going to use the AORI to battle. I'm going to go initialize combat. This is your loadout screen. So what would happen is, this is quite a bit to take in, but this is also a trading card game as well. So the idea is you collect these trading cards, you build your own deck, just like Magic the Gathering. You'd curate it based on what kind of fighter you want, what kind of team you want to be using. Some cards will offer you things like radiation resistance, which are very effective against certain outposts. You'll have different types of styles, like the Neuromancer can actually take implants, cybernetic implants, which other armors can't. Some can take stimulants and avoid withdrawals. These armors that you see in front of you are actually recon armor, whereas others are adept, which are a more advanced class, and they can do dual wielding. So for those who are big fans of dual wielding saber staffs, it's really good fun. There are different types of elements. You know, there's chroma, there's ether, there's lightning, there's fire, which is all based on one big massive pantheon or cosmology. There are sigils, and these are very important. These kind of reflect your martial philosophy. So if you're the paladin, you're a very virtuous fighter. If you're the strategist, you're more of the kind of person who relies on technique and technology. If you are the primal, then you would be more ferocious and beast-like. If you are the Puritan, then you're someone who doesn't compromise on your position. And if you're the Emperor, then you are really focused on authority and power and the use of those to outwit and psych out your opponent. So there's quite a lot there. I'll use a heavy just as an example as well. The heavy fighters are another class where they can use the most powerful weapons of the game, like the Dragon Slayer here. I don't think I would be able to retail the Dragon Slayer, so just purely for testing purposes. But you can also see points are accumulating in the top here, your focus points, kind of get you an idea if your team is more balanced or not. It's very super important if you've got a very heavy deck. I'll just might turn that down a bit again. You have your abilities. So abilities will allow you to do all sorts of things. I'm actually currently working on a very secret project to do with the mythology cards and or the ability cards. And once that's ready, I'll be really excited to share it with people. I really think that it's going to be, for those who really enjoy philosophy and things, or kind of spiritual and philosophical texts, I think they're going to get a lot out of it. But we're going to go another weapon here, because that's a dual, it's a heavy. Here's an adept, so we'll use two weapons here. That's the energy blade from Halo. And then we also have what are called house items. The house items are really items that you can kind of share amongst each other. We have a series of crystals. We have cybernetic implants. We have there's a zombie blood, which will allow you to turn into a zombie when you die. There's mutagen, will allow you to steal companion characters, but actually there's nobody can steal characters from at the moment, so I'll just move them. There are grenades, there are standard items. These are a pool items, so if you don't use them in your match, then you know your teammates will be able to use them in theirs. A couple of health packs is always good. Can't go wrong with some health packs. As you can see, not all the cards are loaded in, so I've still got quite a bit of work to do. So this, I'll put the music back up. This is the general combat screen. Looks like I might have stuffed up the music a bit, but that's all right. Here is your combat log. So for those who are the game master, who are kind of managing this and want to know what's been happening, you can open this up and take a look. As you can see, I've put a lot of effort into the aesthetic. So it's very much a comic style, which I think works really well. The sigils, in this case, you can see the sigils actually have like trumping features. Strategist trumps Void, so any benefits that Void gets, whether it's armor or their weapon, that's going to be null and void. But you can see from the cards actually that none of them actually had any bonuses anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, sorry, I lie. Void did have a bonus. They would have gotten an extra 10 armor points for that, but now they don't. So, and then if we get an idea of the battle, so if I just simply go, this side's going to hit, so they hit. This would be a creature card, but not quite loading. Anybody who's a fan of Mortal Kombat, you'll hear some familiar sounds. So at the moment I've got animations going, so you can see the fire getting damaged, you can see dialogue boxes coming up, you can see updates happening. It gives you a bit of a clearer view of what's been happening. You've got your stats. If we're using let's just say we use zombie blood. Zombie blood's pretty cool. The idea is that, like you've just drunk the zombie blood, and if you die, you'll actually have a second chance to come back. Very useful if you're going up against a tank and someone's absolutely smashed you.
Hyper combo.
So what we're going to do, actually, I really like this. If anybody's a Killer Instinct fan as well,
Combo breaker.
a little bit of an Easter egg there for you. So now they've turned into zombie. I'm actually going to just adjust it so that you'll have like a zombified portrait picture of a character. And now in this instance, we've got Way Shaper. So they're going to use Way Shaper, which is going to completely knock them out. But it's a very unique ability, so they actually can't do anything. And then kills them. If you need to edit your results, you can edit your results. And also for those who just again to turn that off. For those who, again, this is all about facilitating fights at your club. So let's just say you've got quite a few games going on. You can contextualize the matches for people, and you can also record their stats. So like you can keep track of your different fighters, how many points they've accumulated, and then create your own leaderboards and stuff. So I'm going to confirm that. Now it's the second match turn, so these are different fighters. We can see here they've got still some items available to them. In this instance, I'll just put that music back up. In this instance, they're using the Neuromancer, so they can actually install some implants here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to install an implant, which gives me a dodge ability, so I can now like kind of dodge some of the attacks. Their creature is defending them as well, so every time that creature pops up, it's attacking the opponent, the fighter 2 side. So that is a dodge. They've just dodged that attack. So you can see that implants worked really, really well. You can also see actually there was some, there was no bonuses on any weapons or armor there. They're going to use Nova Soul, which is like a cleansing light. So actually, yes, it summons a creature form as well, but I haven't got the code yet to fix that up. But now this person's going to smash them quite a bit. They're still taking damage though, and they're taking damage because Nova Soul is actually attacking this creature, so maybe some of the code is still working. But now the Nova Soul has banished, so that should disappear. They're going to use a health pack, so I can restore some health. And then I'm just going to kind of burn through this. It's a bit of a quick overview. I'll probably go into more depth once I've actually got it fully working. But and then you get what's called this is part of the campaigns that'll be launched. So you've got characters who will tell you part of the story as you go through. And then that's for both sides. So if you're House Aori, which is this Kais, they're House Aori, they tell a bit about the campaign, about something that's been happening, and that switches over to the other side, which is the Stellan Alliance. So the Stellan Alliance have been defeated, and basically Admiral Voss is just saying, yep, we've been destroyed. You can export these results, very, very cool. Ideally, what we want to be able to do is actually connect with clubs all around the world and have them share their results and have one big massive saga that's kind of everybody contributes to. So instead of just one outpost being dominated by one club, you could have like 50 people around the world contributing their scores and their matches to control one outpost. So then I'll return to map, and then here I am again. So back in here we can see now, so the AORI had done that one. You can see now they've actually controlled that territory. Oops, AORI, there we go. So Galen Yard, and they've contributed to releasing Brother Spheric. Yeah, so now we can also see the leaderboard. Oops, let's just do that again. So with the leaderboard, we can see they're now in the lead because they've just taken an outpost. They have got Rising Bar achievement. And so I hope you enjoyed. Please definitely keep your eye open. There's so much coming out of this space. I've contributed quite a lot, and can't wait to share it all with you. Have a good night.